Salvete discipuli. In today's lesson, we return to the saga of Quintus and Salvius. Salvius is going to arrive at the camp of General Agricola in the far north of Britannia. In advance of his arrival, he has sent a letter full of lies. A seriously wounded Quintus is still out there somewhere trying to get to General Agricola and tell another side of the story. Salvius ipse Paulo prius ad castra advenerat. Salvius himself. Okay, ipse is that demonstrative adjective that means self. So ego ipse would be I myself, tu ipse you yourself, Salvius ipse Salvius himself. A little earlier. Paulo is a little, prius is earlier. Paulo prius, a little earlier, had arrived. Pluperfect verb, remember the pluperfect ending is the same as the imperfect tense. Eram, eras, erat, eramos, eratis, erant. You put that on the perfect stem and you've got a pluperfect verb. At the camp. Now, this is actually a neuter plural, by the way. Castrum would be the singular. Castra is the neuter plural. We use the plural, however, in the singular sense of camp. Iam in legionis secundae principiis sedebat Agricolam anxius exspectans. He was already sitting. Okay, so iam is already, and I'm running all the way over here for my verb. He was already sitting. Where was he sitting? In the headquarters. Now, in takes principiis is the plural, ablative plural, meaning headquarters here. It is very normal, by the way, when you have what's called a genitive complement, which is what legionis secundae is going to be. It is very common to put that between the preposition and the word it describes. So, sitting in the headquarters of the second legion. Okay, so legionis secundae is genitive of the second legion, headquarters of the second legion. What is he doing? Exspectans. You know what to do with ns. It turns into ing. Anxiously waiting for Agricola. Solicitus erat quod in epistula quam ad Agricola miserat multa falsa scripserat. Okay, so right away, I hope you looked at that and said, oh, that's another pluperfect. Oh, here's another one. Okay. He was nervous. Solicitus erat. Why? Because in epistula, in the letter, what letter? The letter quam, the letter which he had sent to Agricola, miserat, pluperfect. He had written, scripserat, again, pluperfect ending. What had he written? Multa falsa. Okay, again, that's neuter plural. The A is the neuter plural ending. And literally, many false things. The word things isn't in the Latin, but we kind of supply it. In primis, Cogidubnum seditionis accusaverat. In particular. Now, primis literally means just like in the first things, but this idiom we are translating as in particular. What is he anxious about? The fact that accusaverat, he had accused Cogidubnus. What had he accused Cogidubnus of? This anticipates this genitive, seditionis is genitive, of rebellion. Okay, and this is absolutely not true. Cogidubnus never would have rebelled. He was a loyal ally of the Romans. Salvius has accused him of just absolute falsehoods. In animo volvebat num Agricola sibi crediturus esset. He was rolling in spirit. Okay, that's what this idiom means. Volvebat means to roll something. Okay, where is he rolling it? In animo. He's rolling it in spirit. Now, This is an idiom that just means to like mull over something, okay, to consider. He was considering whether. Num here is whether. And now we're going to move to a new subject of a new verb. So Salvius was the one considering. What he's considering is whether Agricola is going to do something. Whether Agricola was about to believe him. Esset is the imperfect subjunctive, okay? We use subjunctive whenever we're describing a situation that is unreal, okay? So since he's considering whether something is true, we would obviously use subjunctive because it may be true, it may not be true. Subjunctive is the unreal mood of the language. And then we have this word crediturus, okay? This urus ending here, future participle. Whether he was about to believe him. Sibi is dative because the verb credo, credere takes dative, okay? And it's sibi because it's going back to the fact that it's Salvius. Whether he would believe him, meaning he himself, meaning Salvius. So again, imperfect subjunctive is you take the infinitive and you add the normal endings to it. Okay, so spectare is the infinitive to watch. Spectaret, that he might watch. Okay, esse is the infinitive to be. So you just add the t to esse and you have to might be. In this case, we're going to translate it as was, but remember, it's a was that is unreal, whether he was about to believe him. And again, the future participle. You take the fourth principal part, and then you add these endings. Urus, masculine, ura, feminine, urum, neuter. And by the way, it's not a coincidence that the word future itself has that because the word future is in fact the future participle of the verb to be. Okay? So, fourth principal part, okay? You're just going to add that urus ending, and that's how we arrive at crediturus, about to believe or would believe. He was considering whether Agricola would believe him. Now, he knows he's lying, okay? And he's just wondering, how stupid is Agricola? Is he really going to believe all this? Well, here's the thing. People are inclined to trust someone that they think they should trust, okay? Salvius is a senator. If a senator has arrived at your camp and says that a Celt is plotting a rebellion, your first assumption isn't that that senator is making this up. You're inclined to believe him. Belimicum secum duxerat ut testis esset. He had led Belimicus with himself. Okay, again, Salvius is the subject. Ut, in order that he might be a witness. Ut testis esset. And remember, Belimicus is in on this plot. Belimicus is more than willing to lie to Agricola on Salvius's behalf. Subito Salvius Agricolam intrantem conspicatus ad eum festinavit ut salutaret. Suddenly Salvius. Okay, now this is going to be an interesting sentence. Okay, this clause here is going to be an embedded clause. So the main sentence is that Salvius did this in order that he might do this. Okay, so that's going to be the main sentence. However, what were the circumstances in which he hurried in order to greet someone? Well, the circumstances were Agricolam intrantem conspicatus. Let's explore that clause. Okay, so conspicor is a deponent verb. Again, remember, how do we know it's deponent? Because of the OR. Okay, it means to catch sight of. And remember that the past participle, here conspicatus, the past participle of a deponent verb is active. It can actually take an object. So having caught sight of, and here's what he caught sight of. He caught sight of Agricola. not just Agricola, Agricola intrantem, okay, present active participle, ing. Having caught sight of Agricola entering, okay, so what did he do? He hurried to him, ad eum festinavit. Why did he hurry to him? Ut salutaret, in order that he might greet him.